What's up, everybody? It's your boy Captain Sexy Pants back with another Funko Pop video for you today. Today we're going to do a top 5 list, and it's going to be the top 5 music Funko Pops that don't exist that I would like to see happen. So kick back, open up something nice, cold, and tasty, watch the intro, and enjoy the video. Alright everybody, thanks for sticking around for the intro. Before we get into this video, I think I have some splaining to do. If you can tell behind me, the Funko Pop wall is gone. And that's because I'm moving and they're painting and doing some other stuff at the other house, and we haven't moved over there yet. So I haven't taken the recording studio, as it were, and taken it over there. Plus I don't want to drive over there every time I want to film a video. So hopefully in the next couple weeks we're going to get that all settled in, and you guys will be able to see my glorious Funko Pop collection here behind me. So the first pop that we're going to talk about today, as you can already tell, probably up here, there's a picture of the godfather of soul, the man himself, James Brown. Now, if you wonder, why should James Brown get a Funko Pop made? Well, let me tell you, James Brown had 17 #1 hit singles. That's like Beatles level stuff. That's Elvis level stuff. And James Brown does not get a near enough credit for really kind of formulating the sound for hip-hop. Back in the 90s, if you heard a hip-hop song, it either had a James Brown bass line, the funky drummer beat that you've heard in 500,000 songs is a James Brown drum beat. And so for that reason and that reason alone, to me, is reason enough to make James Brown a Funko Pop Rocks. Okay, the next musician that I think they should make a Funko Pop of, that you can tell because this picture is right here, is none other than David Robert Jones, also known as David Bowie. Now, if you want to ask about David Bowie's qualifications on why he should be made a pop for the Funko Pop Rocks collection, just listen to Fame. Listen to Ziggy Stardust. Listen to Let's Dance. Listen to any of the countless iconic songs that he's wrote. And also remember that this man, just in the US, has produced 11 #1 records and has gone platinum more times than probably just about any artist of his era. He was a great inspiration to a lot of people, to a lot of artists, and there's two different kinds of people in the world. You either like David Bowie or you're an idiot. And that's why David Bowie needs to be immortalized in the Funko Pop Rocks line. Alright, coming in at number 3, my idol, the man who's responsible for my worldview and how I approach my life on a day-to-day basis. And as you can tell by the picture right here, you know that I'm talking about nobody else besides the genius is a good word, of Henry Rollins. Now, some of you might not be very familiar with Henry Rollins' work. He was in a band in the early 80s in Los Angeles you might have heard of called Black Flag. And then, of course, there was the Rollins Band in the 90s, and he's been immortalized on Beavis and Butthead. And I'm sure if you've seen 5 episodes of Beavis and Butthead, the one with Henry Rollins' Liar video is definitely in there. This man is so important to me that I have Henry Rollins' lyrics tattooed on my arms. This guy needs to be immortalized. He needs to get a lot more respect and a lot more love than I think he does. And this is just my one little small way of helping him out with that. He's wrote countless novels, and he's a poet, he's a publisher, he's a music curator, he's an actor. There's just no reason on God's green earth there should not be a Henry Rollins Funko Pop. Alright everybody, coming in at number 4 is my first crush. And that, of course, should be everyone from my age bracket's first crush, and that's Joan Jett. Yes, the godmother of punk herself, Joan Jett, a 2015 inductee to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hotter today than any of the Kardashians. Animal rights activist. These are a list of things, and it blows my mind that there's no Joan Jett Funko Pop Rocks. As a matter of fact, off the top of my head, I can't even think of a female Funko Pop that's in that series. There's no Stevie Nicks. There's no Mariah Carey. There's nobody. The first one should be Joan Jett. And last but certainly not least, this guy, Glenn Danzig. Yes, he catches a lot of flack now, but when I was a kid and when I was coming up, and he was the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. Between the Smiths, Sam Hain, the Danzig records himself, especially the first 3 Danzig records, might be some of the finest blues rock, almost metal, kind of punky goodliness that you're ever going to find. I don't care what bad things you have to say about him or what YouTube videos you've seen. Glenn Danzig is and will always be the man. I originally made this list probably 6 months to a year ago. And I had to take a couple out and add a couple because we recently did finally get the Johnny Cash Pop release, and there's also rumored to be a Morrissey Funko UK release. So if anybody out there happens to get their hands on one of those, hook a brother up. I also wanted to say we're on that big hard push to 500 subscribers. And if you want to see me get my dome shaved by the infamous Lady Dazed, please make sure you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe if you already haven't. Make sure you send it out to your friends because I personally think I'm going to look pretty stupid with a bald head. But in order to see what that looks like, we got to get to 500 by the first week of August. In the immortal words of my favorite YouTuber of all time, Mr. Sunnyside, a peace.